everyone, and welcome back to the Beilein to Victory podcast. This will be episode 33. We'll get right into it. So we'll first talk about the importance of beating rivals, especially this season. And then I'll continue my ranking series by ranking all the offenses in the Big Ten. To finish out the series over the next few episodes, I'll rank the defenses, have the final Big Ten rankings, and then have the final national rankings and playoff predictions. So, over the last few years, and really over the last 10 years, under Brady Hoke and under Jim Harbaugh, Michigan has struggled to beat rivals. Obviously, Notre Dame is not a team you play every year, so we'll start with them. They're probably third on the list of the rivals, but if you look at the way we're starting this year with this team, this is going to be really important for this team to get off to a good start and set the tone, because Jim Harbaugh obviously struggled. The only time he's beaten any of these rivals is when he beat Michigan State when they were brutal, terrible. So he needs to step up. This team needs to step up, and they need to start beating rivals. That's a good way to start it, by trying to beat Notre Dame, a team they're better than, more talented than, a national televised game. That's a must win. That is a must win. I think all three of these are must wins. But you have to start the season right, and you have to start it by beating a rival. The one that's really made me angry is Michigan State. We've referred to them as their little brother for a while now, but how are they a little brother when they've beaten us 7 out of 10 times? It's ridiculous. Last year, we were a better team. The fumbled snap that year, we were a better team. A lot of these years were better teams, more talented, but the coaching for Michigan State wins out. Mark D'Antonio is a significantly better coach than Jim Harbaugh. That's obvious, but this can't happen, especially with this team. We're going to keep calling them a little brother. We better beat them. Got to win this year. Absolutely must win. And then Ohio State, they're pretty close to us in talent. They might even have more talent than us. But that's a game you got to start winning. I mean, I'm starting to hear Ohio State fans it's not even a rivalry anymore. Yeah. The one thing about that is, in the 1940s when Michigan was winning every time, the Michigan fans were not saying it's not a rivalry. I'll tell you that. They need to turn it around this year. They have the talent. They're going to be a top 10 team, most likely, at the beginning of the season. They should be able to beat all three of these teams. Absolutely has to happen. And this drought with Michigan State and Ohio State has got to end. Absolutely has to end, or else there's going to be a coaching change in the near future. All right. So, we'll move in here to my offensive rankings. I only went to 13. I didn't even rank Illinois. I don't even consider them part of the Big Ten anymore because of how pathetic they've been. So I'll start at the bottom. My Rutgers is a little cut off there, but they'll go right there. Put them ahead of Illinois. Illinois lost 3 quarterbacks, and one of them to Michigan, Jeff George, who might play an important role if there are a couple injuries. Watch out for him. Indiana lost their best receiver, Simi Cobbs. They're going to be relying on a sophomore quarterback. I don't like where they're going this year at the quarterback position or anywhere on offense. I don't think they're going to be terrible, but it's not looking good for that team. These next two here, Minnesota and Purdue, were very close for me. I think the quarterback play, Elijah Sindelar, is pretty good. I think he's going to win out the starting job at Purdue, and I think they're going to be a little bit better than Minnesota, offensively at least. Both of these teams are literally the definition of mediocrity in the Big Ten. I expect them both to go around 5-7, 6-6, maybe 7-5. That's what happens pretty much every year with these teams, and I mean, those are games you have to win against those type of teams. The new top 8 here, this is where you get into pretty good teams. Iowa, I mean, they're well coached, and they've always had pretty good quarterback play, and I expect them to have it again this year. Nate Stanley's a good quarterback. They have Noah Fant, good receiver, good tight end. I think they're going to be pretty good, and I think Iowa is going to be I think they're going to have another one of those upsets there this year against a team that's competing for the playoff, as they have against Michigan and Ohio State the last couple of years. Nebraska, I think they're going to make a big leap this year. I really like their receiving core, especially Stanley Morgan. very good player. They obviously have a new coach, Scott Frost. I'm really high on him. He led a UCF team. I mean, that team, I was down on them all year. They beat Auburn, and now, I mean, I don't think they should have gotten into the playoff, but I didn't think they were really anything special. But they did beat Auburn, and Auburn was a very good team. So I think they're going to make a big step this year, and I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Northwestern, they're really only up here because of their quarterback play. Clayton Thorson is a very, very good quarterback. Um, so I expect them to be pretty good on the offensive side of the ball, and I expect them to be in games with all these other teams that they play here at the top, the five best teams, obviously in the Big Ten. Not even really close. We go to Wisconsin next. Their defense is what wins them games, and the fact that they play in a weak Big Ten West. Alex Hornibrook has never done it for me, as I said in a recent broadcast when I ranked the quarterbacks. So they're down at 5 for me if you look at the best teams here in the Big Ten. And I'm really not high on Wisconsin this year at all, but we will get into that another day. Um, and then, I mean, this top 4, you got Michigan here. It's just tough for me. I was in between them and Wisconsin, but I do believe they'll make a big leap because of the quarterback. Obviously, it's not John O'Corn, so it's an upgrade in any way you look at it. So you got to look at Michigan here to be a force to be reckoned with, really. Good receiving core, Peoples Jones and Tariq Black, and then you got Karan Higdon, Chris Evans in the backfield, and decent offensive line. I don't think it's going to be any pushover offense like it was last year. The top 3 have really separated themselves, though. Ohio State, obviously. Haskins, a great quarterback. They have a great system there at Ohio State. He plays kind of like Barrett does, who had obviously a great career there. So I think they're going to be good. Obviously, they'll obviously be good on the defensive side of the ball, and offensively, I think they're going to be pretty good, and I think they're going to make a good transition from quarterback to quarterback. And I think Haskins showed that last year in the game against Michigan. And you get a Penn State. They're obviously up here because, one, they have the best quarterback in the conference, no doubt, because of experience. He can make all the throws. He's an NFL-ready quarterback in my mind. And Miles Sanders, I'm big on him. I think they're going to make a good transition from Barkley to him. They're not going to be the offense they were last year, but they're going to be good. The defense is where they may struggle, but definitely have them throwing up a lot of points this year. And then Michigan State has really separated themselves offensively. The defensive side of the ball they might struggle with, but Brian Lewerke is a very good quarterback. L.J. Scott is a good running back, and they have the best receiver in the conference. They have Felton Davis, and they obviously have a good system. Mark D'Antonio does a great job. So Michigan State is my number 1 offense in the Big Ten, unfortunately. Well, that is going to do it for us. Make sure to like the video and subscribe, and follow my Instagram page at Beilein Victory Podcast, and also follow my other YouTube channel, which is a podcast with a few other Big Ten fans, the Big Four Podcast. I'll be back next Wednesday, and thank you for watching.